Carlisle Indian School began in 1879, and in its 39-year history, over 8,000 children were taken there. It really is a traumatic history that has had an impact on generations that have followed. So I think it's really important for both non-natives as well as natives to understand this chapter in American history and the attempt to really assimilate Indian children, which we see also as a form of genocide. You're taking children far from their homes, from their cultures and their religious ceremonies, their traditions, often not allowed to speak their language, and really attempt to turn them into white boys and girls. Well, thanks to a National Archives grant, we have been able to visit today at the Mvskoke Creek community with actually the 5 nations, and we're here to share resources about the Carlisle Indian School. We've digitized a lot of the student files that the National Archives had so that we could make the files and the documents freely accessible to communities, because it's often very difficult to get all the way to Washington, D.C. or to make their way to Carlisle, Pennsylvania. So we wanted to be able to make the resources available both to communities, to descendants of those who were sent to Carlisle.
I came to this event today to share my ancestor. I've been doing a lot of research on my great uncle. It'd be great uncle Enos Wilson, and he was a big influential part of the Mvskoke Creek Nation. It started off as he was an orphan, and then he went to the boarding school, Carlisle Christie, and then he went straight into the Army. And so that was such a big deal for me that he endured all that, and we're still here today. When I was doing my research though, it bothered me because in one of the letters they wrote back, the only 2 words he could speak in English is to and the. And so now I want to work, I've been trying to learn the Mvskoke language for like the past 4 years, and I've really been trying, but it's really hard. But that was the moment in time that we lost our language, and it breaks my heart. And so I'm striving, because that's our identity as Mvskoke people, is the Mvskoke language, and I believe in it.
I met an anthropologist named Genevieve Bell, who was doing her dissertation on the Carlisle Indian School, and she was collecting all of the names of the students. She had gotten them from the National Archives records, and at the same time I had started collecting the names from the Indian School newspapers that I was transcribing every week online to a group of descendants. So I had other names, not all of her names. And as I collected more and more names, we consolidated our names and we organized them into nations, and we made lists of these names and put them online. Then more and more people started coming to the Cumberland County Historical Society where I work, because they wanted to see the photographs and they wanted to see the actual newspapers that these names were appearing in. And I started to really develop a connection to these children because I knew their names. And that's why I'm emotional about this, because they mean something to me. And also, I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, and my children never went to a school where there was a cemetery. So it was really hard to just talk about the names without attaching all that loss and sadness to them. There are stories, many more stories that can come out of this particular slice of history. The stories belong with the families, they belong with the communities. Academics and filmmakers and writers need to understand that Indian people don't owe them their stories. You know, so much has been taken and the stories can't be part of that. So, you know, I feel a commitment to talk about that in my community with non-Indian people.